What's up, folks? I am back with a new video here from the sunny and humid climes of southern Thailand. It is a beautiful morning and I believe I picked another great and silent spot here in the place where I'm currently living. And today's topic is: why do we like or prefer Asian women as Western men? And I don't say I say we. Why do we like them? Simply because of the reason there are many. It's a big community of expatriates, Western men who already have married Asian women, are dating Asian women, and the community is just growing as we speak. I think also this video is relevant, not only to us Western men, but also to Asian women. And when I say Asian woman, I mostly refer to women from the Philippines, from Thailand, from Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos to a certain extent, so to Southeast Asian women. But I think you can also apply that to Chinese women, Korean women, and even Japanese women to a certain extent. And I think this video is also relevant, especially to Western women, because they might be puzzled or they maybe don't understand this phenomena, why more and more men actually disappearing from the Western world, from the Western countries, and migrating to Southeast Asian countries. You know, you have this movement called passport bros, right? This kind of thing, this kind of fad or trend, which is now becoming very popular apparently. So if you're one of these passport bros, I don't know, maybe it's also relevant for you. But in this video, I want to talk about the possible or the probable reasons why men are interested in Asian women. And also I will talk about why I like them, and also what could be the benefits, you know. And I want to say, at the end of the day, you have to try it out yourself, you know. If you are dating Asian women, if you have dated them, you know already, I don't need to tell you. But if you are a greenhorn, try it out, you know. And I hope after my video I could give you some inspiration. So here's the story. When I released my latest video last week about the no common sense thing, you know, why so many Western men seem to lose their common sense and common behavior when dating Asian women, I received a very interesting comment from a viewer of this video. She actually approached me on LinkedIn, not on YouTube or not on any other social media accounts, which I don't have, by the way. This lady is a middle-aged woman, I assume, at least 40 years old already. And she is a CEO of a company based in the United States. She studied at Georgetown University, so she is, I assume, very intelligent, a very smart woman, and has some life experience as well. And she approached me with a very long message and asked me a few things why I do not choose or have not chosen a Western woman to share my life with. And she points out, you know, with a Western woman you could have much more interesting conversations, you could share your life projects together. You know, I noted these things down here. You could complement each other and you could even create legacies, you know. That's certainly true, but also I think this is very, very much true with Asian women, or with any kind of woman for that matter, right? You can create legacy with any kind of partner you have chosen or you have decided you want to spend the rest of your time with, the rest of your life. So my answer to these kind of questions was, I gave her a little bit of context. Why is it actually, why do I like Asian women why do I prefer them? What is my motivation? What is my reason? So up until the year of 2005, I was really not interested in Asian women whatsoever. I at the time was working in New Zealand. Yeah, I've been working in a few Western countries already at the time: Switzerland, Germany, United States, and then after the States, I moved to New Zealand, to Auckland. And Auckland is or was at the time a university city. So you have, I believe, at least tens of thousands of Asian, most of them Southeast Asian students coming to Auckland to study. New Zealand is a Western country, it's probably very attractive therefore, and it's located within the region there. You know, it's not so much time traveling necessary when you travel from Indonesia or from, let's say, Korea into a Western country. So there were thousands and thousands of young students, a lot of them female, from the Philippines, Thailand, Malaysia, you name it. And also the hotel I worked for at the time, many of my colleagues actually were, all of them were Western guys from Germany, from other countries. And most of them, they had, like, I remember, Chinese girlfriends. These Chinese girls, they were students from mainland China, and they studied hospitality management in Auckland at the time. And most of my friends had, or colleagues, they had Chinese girlfriends. So I was curious also, and I wanted to find out what is it with these women? What makes them so attractive? You know, and why are all my German, let's say, friends had these Chinese girlfriends? And I remember many of them were really pretty. I remember that. And even though New Zealand is full of, let's say, white people for that matter, but they all chose the Chinese girls. Another guy had a Filipina, I remember, our restaurant manager. And so I started to get a taste, you know, and yeah. And I became interested in Asian women, and you know, long story short, a few months later I ended up in Beijing, and so the story went, and then later Hong Kong, and then the rest is history. And today I'm in Thailand in 2023, almost 20 years later. What do I like? What do we like? Or why do Western men do like Asian women? I think it really boils down at the end of the day to the fundamentals. I believe essentially that Western men really feeling they are being valued again, approved again, appreciated again, respected, and also taken seriously again. I pointed it out in my last video as well, that many Western men who come to Asia have had a very negative and disappointing dating experience. Some of them may be divorced or other stuff. So they're coming from a very negative background, you know, with broken dreams and broken promises even. And I don't want to get into the details here, who is to blame. It doesn't matter. A failed marriage is a failed marriage at the end of the day. It doesn't matter whose fault it really was, right? So this is the kind of setup, right? This is the background of most of the men who come to Asia, who are just looking for something new, something refreshing. They don't give up, they don't want to give up, they want to leave their old life behind. They're mostly also fed up with other things, not only with maybe their broken marriage, but maybe even they are fed up with the Western girls, the Western woman, the attitude, and all that kind of stuff I will talk about in this video a little bit. So, but basically I believe men are so attracted to Asian women because these Asian women, because of the way how they tick and the way how, from what kind of culture they are coming from. There are fundamental differences in culture between Asian and Western culture. I find, honestly, the Western culture is a very rotten and deteriorated culture. It's completely subverted, and with this whole wokeism these days, it gets even worse. In my opinion, you really need to get out of this of these places. You know, I mean, I'm talking about Europe and the United States. Get the hell out of there. What do you want? And it's not such a long time ago that in my country, in Germany, the same dynamics were at play. You know, when my grandmother, for example, she grew up in a very humble, simple household. I remember my mother told me that even the marriage was arranged. My grandmother's marriage was arranged. My great-grandfather arranged my grandfather's marriage. That was the deal, not even 100 years ago in Germany. So anyway, so again, I think men want to feel valued and appreciated by women. And that's why they're looking for Asian women, because they hear many good things, you know. YouTube is full of these stories, the internet is full of these blog posts, so they're heading down southeast, you know, and try their luck. But what is this really? I believe that the Southeast Asian women are still really much more feminine than a Western woman. This is because of the culture, and this is also my experience, and this is why I prefer Asian women. These women are still women, yeah, in my definition. There are different definitions of woman, we can argue about that. I do not subscribe to this feminist version, what is a woman? No, I say I want a woman which is a woman, so with feminine attributes and characteristics. Yeah, the woman in Asia, to a great extent, over 90% for sure, be it Thailand, be it the Philippines, be it Cambodia, Vietnam or Laos, they dress like women, they talk like women, and they behave like women. Yeah, and they also have hobbies like a woman. Yeah, that girly kind of stuff. I'm not saying that all Western women do not have that anymore, but there's a great negative trend in Western societies. And you guys, you know what I'm talking about. I don't need to go into all these details. Yeah, so we prefer women who are feminine. In Southeast Asia, most of the women, they still look like women. Yeah, they have long hair, for example. They dress like a woman. Also, of course, they have a nice body. This is just my personal preference. I like slim girls. You know, I don't like obese or overweight ladies or women. I just don't like it. I don't like blue or green or purple hair. You know, now these days in Asia, many of the women, they color their hair a little bit. You can see that also, especially in the Philippines, but it's like a brownish tone, you know, which looks very decent, very natural. And in my opinion, it makes them even more attractive, because naturally all their hair is black. But definitely they have long hair, colored, yeah, but you barely see women with very short hair, unless they are probably lesbians, and that's it. And this is what I want in my woman. If I date a woman, I want to date a woman and not a truck driver or somebody who has the language of a truck driver. Or what I just read in one of my comments recently, I don't want to date a Rottweiler with lipsticks. That was very funny to read, you know, Rottweiler the dog, you know. I don't want to date a woman like this, to be very honest. It's disgusting, you know. Also, I find Asian women very joyful human beings. Yeah. Yeah, we talked about the looks already, hair, body, shape of body, and also their natural appearances, you know. Also, a big point is that these ladies, these girls, these women in Southeast Asia, they are very much interested to date foreigners. Yeah, this is my experience. Many of them, if not most of them, are genuinely interested to date Western men, foreign men. The age doesn't matter so much, although Asian women are more interested in older men, because older means you have financial stability, which is very, very important to Southeast Asian women, not only to Southeast Asian women, but so they are open to date foreigners because foreign men, they stand for certain things like financial stability and other things. And they are open to date. Of course, there is a minority of women who have bad intentions and they want to take advantage of you, but you know, how many Western women actually are taking advantage of you or trying to take advantage of you or took already great advantage of you, right? You know better than me probably, because I haven't dated a Western woman in decades, you know, just to tell you the truth. So, of course, you have to be careful, but the majority of Asian women, they are really open to date foreign men. Because they also have to bring, I'm talking about the Asian woman, they have something to bring to the table. They have a lot which they can bring to the table, and I just pointed out a few things already. And yeah, of course they are cute, you know, and they are also more shy, you know, like women actually are. Women are actually more shy, and also Asian women I find are more considerate altogether. This is my experience. They are really careful human beings. This is my experience. They are great caretakers. I'm not saying that Western women in general are not great caretakers, no. But I have just had a positive experience with the girlfriends I had, or the long-term relationships I had with women from Indonesia or the Philippines. Yeah. I can really not complain regarding this thing. So, if you are really, and also very important, if you are really serious in a long-term relationship, which eventually would lead to marriage, then you have much more luck in Southeast Asia for the reason I just explained. And you will be just, yeah, you will have great success. And this is also the reason more and more men recognize this fact, and they head for Southeast Asia to try their luck. You know, Southeast Asian women are way more traditional, way more family oriented, and therefore for them their own family is certainly priority number one. But also they want to start their own family. So if you are a family guy, if you want to get married, if you want to commit, if you want to have your own children and babies, then Southeast Asian woman or Southeast Asia is a great place. It's a great match, you know. If your intentions, if your values and if your goals are matching, then yeah, and many success stories are proving this every single day, right? Another thing is of course the cultural difference. What makes probably Asian women so attractive is, you know, we Westerners, we are more like on the extrovert side. For us, success and all this kind of stuff is important, and also we are more open-minded. You know, we speak our mind sometimes too fast, I know, and in Asia, it's actually the opposite. So people are more introvert, more considerable, and more thoughtful, which are very good attributes. Actually, we Westerners can also we should take this into consideration. You know, we Westerners, we are not so thoughtful sometimes, right? And not so considerate, not with our language, not with our behavior. So there is a great deal to learn from Asian culture in general. This is not only referring to Asian women, but also to Asian men. I mean, if you come to Thailand, and many of you came to Thailand already, you know what I'm talking about, how considerate and thoughtful this culture here is, how sensitive the people are, but also very friendly and very respectful, you know. So, and I think this is kind of a great match between West and East. So, expat guy and Asian woman, they kind of complement each other each other also because of these characteristics and attributes. And speaking of certain characteristics or attributes of Southeast Asian women, I want to name Vietnam as a very good example. And it's being said actually that, and many experts say that, if you really want to marry an Asian woman and marry a Vietnamese, they are the best wife material. They make the best wife. So I'm not married to a Vietnamese woman, so I don't know. But I hear that, let's say, rumor many times already. But also many men who are married to a Vietnamese woman, they confirm that. And in Vietnam, for example, there is, based on Confucianism, this philosophy, the concept of the 3 obediences and the 4 virtues, in Vietnamese culture. And to my knowledge, this is still regarded very highly, especially for the girls, young women, but also later adult women. So the 3 obediences are not so important. They just refer to that the Vietnamese woman subordinates herself to her father when she is a child, later to her husband when she is married, and eventually, in case the husband should pass away, then this widow subordinates herself to her son, if she has one. But way more important, I find the 4 virtues in Vietnamese culture. And I think it is similar in Chinese culture, but I haven't found any other concept like this, for example, in Indonesia or Malaysia. So the 4 virtues are housekeeping skills, beauty, appropriate speech, and moral conduct. And I mean, these 4 virtues, they speak for themselves. And Vietnamese women are kind of trained in these virtues still today. This is what is being expected by Vietnamese culture still today. So Vietnamese women and young women, girls, they are being raised, they are being raised with these 4 virtues in mind. As I said, because the Vietnamese culture is based on Confucianism, this plays a very, very important role in their culture. And I just must say, this is something beautiful. I mean, if the Vietnamese woman or young women or girls even are already like being taught and influenced by these virtues of housekeeping skills, beauty, appropriate speech, and moral conduct. That's what we want, right? That is what we want as men, but also I'm 100% sure this is a two-way street, by the way. Yeah, make no mistake. That applies to men as well. I mean, maybe not necessarily beauty. But I think there's nothing wrong to help out in the household. I mean, I'm a chef, I cook. When I tell women that I'm a chef, they don't believe, They always say, then you can cook for me, right? I don't need to do it anymore. I say, yeah, I'm happy to do it, But appropriate speech and moral conduct, this not only applies to Vietnamese women, it certainly also should apply to the Vietnamese man. And it should actually eventually apply to all human beings, So that is just an example from the Vietnamese culture, and I find it great that the Vietnamese women are being raised with these concepts in mind. And maybe also that is the reason that many men say that Vietnamese women make the best wives, besides of the fact that they are, of course, very pretty women. And I just lost my appetite for Western women because of certain things, also the wokeism, which plays a huge role. I cannot go into this topic too much because I see I have already spoken 24 minutes. It's another long video. I always try to keep it shorter, but I'm not able to do it. So I keep it short. Western culture, this wokeism, this feminism, which in my opinion is completely wrong. You can ask these Western men who are married to, let's say, Filipinas, do they want a feminist Filipina? No, they want a feminine Filipina, not feminist. feminine. That's the keyword here. And I don't believe and I don't think that these men disrespect or even abuse their woman. I don't think so. Maybe some do, but this is in all cultures, in all countries the same. Unfortunately, there is abuse. But I don't think that the majority of Western men who date or marry Asian women, Filipinas, Thais, whatsoever, are marrying them to abuse them or to feel just better or to pump up their ego or to work out their deficiency somehow. No, I think the marriage is based really on mutual respect. But because the woman can give the man what the man really needs, and the other way around, the man can give the woman what she really wants and needs. So I think this is the most important thing. What's the moral of the story? Yeah, do what you prefer at the end of the day. You have to find out what you prefer, what you like. Don't be shy to travel to other countries and continents. Don't get shamed by these, let's say, feminist women. I hear so many bad stories. I don't know what's going on in the United States, for example. I don't have much contact into Germany anymore, but what I hear and read, how bad it must be in the United States. I mean, long story short, guys, don't get shamed by these women. Yeah, just do your thing, buy a ticket, travel, and then you find out, date, burn your fingers, of course, also, that's part of the learning curve. Yeah, but at the end of the day, you know, the most important thing is, it doesn't matter if she's Asian or Western or African or Latina. At the end of the day, I think in a successful relationship, you want to have, you want to have common goals, right? You want to travel a certain path together. This should be your vision in a long-term relationship / marriage, right? That should be your goal, that should be your vision. You travel that same path together, shoulder on eye level. Yeah. And yeah, you of course want not only a best friend in your wife or husband, you want to have a companion, a counselor, you know, a supporter, and of course you want to have a joyful person. And this is what actually comes back to the lady who approached me on LinkedIn the other day, the CEO from Georgetown University. Yeah, it is at the end of the day a successful relationship, no matter with an Asian woman or a Western woman, or for any kind of woman, is to have, certainly you want to find, and I wish that for you, to find a woman you can have interesting conversations with, yeah, a woman you can share your life projects with, a woman who supports your life projects also, who supports you, who is helping you, you know, who is kind of falling in line with you together. You know, when I say falling in line, I don't mean that she subordinates to you. This is not what I mean, because I can hear already the feminists start crying again already. No, it's not about that. It's about complementing each other, right? And then eventually, if all these kind of things fall into place and you can manage to find a partner who has all these attributes you are looking for, and a partner who can really fulfill your needs and the other way around, then in my opinion, if this is all the case, then you really and truly can create legacies. And with that being said, I'm checking out for today. Thanks for watching again. I'm looking forward to your comments as usual. Yeah, and stay safe. I'm gonna see you in the next week again with a new video. Take care, bye bye, and thank you so much for the comments from last video. Great comments, I really appreciate it. I do my best, and yeah, see you next time. Bye bye.